Bitcoin is the first cryptocurrency and the one that started it all. The idea that somebody can create their own worldwide currency is a truly revolutionary one. Bitcoin was so revolutionary that it had spawned approximately 5,000 additional cryptocurrencies. Today, we're going to be talking about whether Monero is better than Bitcoin and the price prediction of Monero for 2021. Hey folks, and welcome back to the channel. Before we get into the video, don't forget to drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Plus, make sure to ding that notification bell so that way you never miss another video from us. Without further ado, let's get into it. Know that prices of cryptocurrencies do change frequently, so by the time you watch this video, it might have changed to a whole new value. Monero is one of the numerous crypto assets that arose from Bitcoin. Monero was founded in 2014 as Bitmonero, combining the words bit from Bitcoin and Monero from the Esperanto word for the coin, with the goal of emphasizing user privacy. While Bitcoin does provide more privacy than a credit card, it's not completely anonymous. Although, unlike a credit card, you don't have to disclose your name or any other identification information to use the Bitcoin. All Bitcoin addresses and transaction histories are publicly recorded on the Bitcoin blockchain, full record of transactions. And as a result, if your real-world identity can be linked to a Bitcoin address, your privacy is therefore compromised. Monero balances and transaction history, on the other hand, are fully secret. Other aspects of the Monero versus Bitcoin comparison include frugatability, transaction speed, transaction fees, scalability, mining algorithms, network impact, supply, pricing, and, of course, privacy. Random one-time addresses that cannot be connected to a previously published or shared standard address are known as stealth addresses. Sending numerous Monero transactions to the same standard Monero address, in other words, will appear on the blockchain as flowing to distinct addresses. Although any Monero received to your stealth address can be retrieved, this money cannot be linked to you in any way. The only way that people who know where the Monero was transmitted are you and the sender. Ring secret transactions, or Ring CT, is a mixture of two privacy innovations: ring signatures and confidential transactions, which is another Monero feature that contributes to its high anonymity. Regular cryptographic signatures, such as those used in Bitcoin, require you to sign off on transaction using your Bitcoin's address's private key, which helps to verify your ownership of the Bitcoin you're about to spend. Ring signatures can also be used to provide ownership of the funds, but they add yet another layer of complexity to the process. Random monies that operate as quote-unquote decoys are blended into the same transaction, and the monies that have been signed off on are not exposed. As a result, determining which monies were actually signed off on and spent is extremely difficult, if not impossible. Each transaction has 10 quote-unquote decoys, making Monero exceedingly difficult to track. Monero transaction quantities are kept hidden thanks to confidential transactions. Anyone may know that Monero transactions equal out on the spending and receiving ends of the transaction by using a cryptographic process called a PEDERSEN commitment, which means that no Monero was double spent or generated out of nowhere. While a PEDERSEN commitment provides for this check, it doesn't allow anyone other than the sender and receiver of the transaction to know how much Monero actually had exchanged in their hands. Another Monero privacy feature currently in development is Covery. In a nutshell, it's similar to how the Tor browser employs onion routing so as to hide internet users' whereabouts and usage habits. Covery would employ similar technology to hide Monero users' whereabouts as well as the fact that they use Monero at all. Although some Monero users already take steps to ensure their anonymity, Covery would enable this by default, boosting the network's overall privacy. One of the key reasons that Monero and Bitcoin value privacy is that the money cannot be fungible without it. Fungibility refers to the ability to exchange one unit of money for another. Imagine, for example, a political rebel fighting your country's harsh regime, which came to dine at your restaurant. You've got no idea that this person is on the run from the authorities and he accepts Bitcoin as payment for his lunch. Later on, you end up hearing that the Bitcoin you got has been blacklisted by the government and is no longer usable. Because all transactions are public and Bitcoin is connected with unwanted behavior, it can end up being identified and blacklisted. This scenario illustrates that Bitcoin lacks frugability, or that 1 Bitcoin equals 1 Bitcoin, no matter what. Even if there was nothing that you had personally done to quote-unquote taint some Bitcoin, you could accidentally get tainted Bitcoin from somebody else, only to discover later that they are unusable due to their tainted nature. A dollar bill is a dollar bill in the real world. We all know that. Despite that fact that your dollar may have been used for illegal purposes, because 80% of dollar bills contain traces of cocaine, retailers will still take your money because they know they can use it elsewhere without anyone questioning its legality. Monero helps to overcome the fungibility problem by adding an anonymity to each and every transaction. Even if the Monero that you have in your possession has been used for illegal purposes in the past, nobody would know because Monero transactions are private. Its origin or transaction history is difficult to trace. Monero is widely accepted on illegal darknet markets, for better or worse, and its frugability is a major reason for that. Unlike Bitcoin, which goes through the darknet and may be blacklisted by exchanges, making it impossible for users to sell it for government currencies like the dollar, illicit Monero cannot be blacklisted, and it appears in the system alongside Monero from a children's charity. Monero is one of the few altcoins, cryptocurrencies that aren't Bitcoin, with a use case other than speculative trading because of this characteristic. Until recently, the transaction fees for Monero and Bitcoin were nearly identical, with Bitcoin fees being a bit higher. Monero, on the other hand, had developed a new technique called bulletproofs in late 2018, which had boosted privacy while simultaneously reducing transaction size. This means that the more transactions may fit within a Monero block, a group of transactions, making it less competitive for your transaction to be confirmed. You won't have to pay as many transaction fees. Monero's average transactions cost dropped by 97%, from 60 cents down to just 2 cents, thanks to these bulletproofs. The typical Bitcoin transaction price is around 39 cents, and therefore, before Monero implemented bulletproofs, Bitcoin and Monero would have been identical. Monero, on the other hand, does have the advantage when it comes to transaction fees because of bulletproofs. Both Monero and Bitcoin use proof-of-work mining, a procedure known as mining, which is used to validate network transactions by individuals known as miners. Miners compete with their mining gear to solve a mathematical equation, for example, a computer or specialized mining device. The first person to be able to answer the equation receives the newly created XMR or Bitcoin and adds a new block to the network. Different mining algorithms are used by Monero and Bitcoin. SHA-256, which is the Bitcoin's mining algorithm, can run on ASICs, or application-specific integrated circuits. ASICs are highly priced equipment which is designed specifically to mine Bitcoin. They are trying to mine Bitcoin with anything as simple as your home computer, which is foolish these days because ASIC miners are a stiff competition. Of course, for those that can afford ASICs, this condition is ideal. ASICs, on the other hand, are expensive and energy ineffective. Therefore, Bitcoin mining has centralized in nations with cheap electricity, and that makes it difficult for ordinary individuals to get Bitcoin through mining. Monero, on the other hand, employs the RANDOMX mining algorithm. RANDOMX is resistant to ASICs, and therefore those who prefer to mine Monero with ASICs don't get a significant edit over those who utilize more common hardware. This makes Monero's mining process more egalitarian than Bitcoin's, and furthermore, unlike Bitcoin, it's easier for users to have the first taste of Monero without having to buy it outright. The price of Monero rose from $156.57 back at the start of 2021 to $517.62 on May 7th, which had exceeded the previous all-time high of $495.84, which was set during the previous cryptocurrency bull run in January 2018. The Monero token price had reached a low of $39 in March 2020, coinciding with the lows of the broader cryptocurrency markets at the time. Monero's price has fallen in the last 2 weeks as cryptocurrencies have fallen from the recent highs, falling from $341.26 on May 2018 to $153.37 on May 19th. Then, on October 21st, it ended up rising to $310 before plummeting back down to $240 by the 24th. So, what does the future hold for XMR currency? Will the price continue to rise from its lows? Monero's price is expected to rise from $342.09 at the beginning of June to $438.50 by the end of 2021. According to algorithm-based forecasting on site Wall Investor, after some tweaking earlier in the year, it is expected that the price will increase to a new all-time high of $548.56 by the end of 2022. Also, it predicts that by the end of 2025, the price will have risen to $875.20, and by May 2026, it will have risen to $926.49. Monero might be able to hit $700 by the end of 2021 if the market is optimistic, while it might track it at approximately $500 if the market is bearish, according to Coinpedia. It does anticipate that a surge will end up pushing the price up to about $1,500 by the end of August 2022, before falling back down to $1,147 in the fourth quarter. In 2025, the coin might trade between $650 and $989 in the long run, with a bullish trend keeping it over $1,100. It's difficult to compare Monero to Bitcoin, as Bitcoin, being the first cryptocurrency, is still regarded as the quote-unquote king of crypto, with a market capitalization far above that of any other digital assets. Monero, on the other hand, is a serious competition due to its high privacy characteristics. And with that, we've come to the end of the video. We hope that you found this informative, and do let us know in the comments section down below what you think about Monero. Also, subscribe for more content just like this, and share it with your friends and family. Also, don't forget to smash that like button and ding that notification bell so you never miss another video from us. Until next time, folks, we'll see you later.